we are live. Hello and welcome to today's live stream. We are going to do a craft with me style demo on how to create the flips, folds, and petal pockets from two of our printable sets. Now let's get started. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
She's staring off into.
I don't know what I was thinking about
Pondering.
pondering,
What were you pondering?
doing a mental saunter. How about that one?
Thinking about turning on the upper light.
Yeah, just to kind of.
You are getting a little bit of glare off of your glasses. I have to work on that.
I don't know how you avoid that.
All right, well, I don't know that anybody's necessarily in the chat, but we can do our thing. Hi, I'm Mariah. I'm the M.
Hello, I'm Patricia. I'm the P.
Together we are
PM
Artist Studio. Hooray, look at that. We're doing some good
Yeah,
stuff. I'm going to
good
get this
stuff.
thing out of my way. And we did start a little bit early just so... Oh, hello, Lisa. Lisa's here with us. I'm going to click this over a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to run the controls and...
Because I don't really touch anything.
Right, so here
it's
let's...
just fast.
Let's go ahead and give us a, I believe this is, nope, this is the one I want. There we go. Look at that. Little flippy do there. Here, I'm going to turn that a little bit more towards you. So you're framed up.
I'm framed up.
All right, and then I think I'm going to, that might drive me crazy. I don't know. Let's get in the chat here. Oh, and we have Kim, is it K and RP Kim Bolton? Good morning.
Yes, I invited her.
Oh, well,
She's
welcome,
one of my
Kim.
friends.
All right. So, and then I think there's a few other people. If you are here, just let us know in the chat. We'd love to chat with you. Because otherwise we just see the little number of there wondering who's just listening. Okay. What we're going to do today, towards the end, we will kind of review a little bit of where P is at on, I should lean in here and look at the camera, where P is at with the bracelets and necklaces. So stay tuned for that, but we're going to kind of jump right into our flip panels. I've had a lot of questions about this, and I kind of always knew that going back and doing a demo, I just, you know, we just never really got back to it. And I didn't do anything else with the Cloudy Seaside set, which is the main one that has the very, and trust me, remember how much time I spent
Oh, absolutely.
trying to figure out, I'm like, I want this to be simple for people. I don't want to just plop it into the set of paper and not put some kind of
Instructional arrows.
But then I was, you know, it's the IKEA moment. See, I'm trying to figure out there.
There.
It's so backwards.
Yes, Mariah, I'm the co-pilot today.
Yeah.
And she's running.
Yes, and
the plane.
we're gonna do the petal pockets because this is our new set of papers. And actually, there's two, and I did put petal pockets in both sets. I think I only printed out the Pleasantly Plush ones, perhaps.
Hey, I just hit OK over there on the printer.
Yeah, no,
so.
that I was just kind of saying to
Yeah,
myself. But I went ahead and made one because I wanted to, kind of have an idea of what I wanted to show you guys, because there's multiple ways of doing this. And actually, this kind of leads into something, and I'm glad that, okay, this is going to make me crazy. I got to turn it. There we go. This gives me an opportunity because I saw these petal pockets in one of the Facebook groups that we are in. And that was a lady by the name of Linda Maynard that posted, and she had created her own little set that was like a free download inside the group, which was so sweet. So sweet. And the group is the Junk Journals with Penny. If you guys want to check that out, go out and join. They're a fun little group. But I saw it there, and I was like, and that was right about the time I was creating the purple papers. So I'm like, that's perfect for the purple papers. I'm saying a lot of P's.
A lot of peas.
A lot of peas.
Don't do it fast.
So, a huge shout out to Lana Maynard for that. And I think she got the idea from the Paper Outpost.
I don't know these things.
I did watch that video a little bit, but she did them a bit different. So, I don't think that there is a right or wrong way. And we certainly believe that with everything that we do. It's like, you know, I can suggest how to do things, but ultimately, hey, I mean, if you've got other ideas about it, do it.
Absolutely.
Because that's certainly how we go about things.
Well, sometimes I have an idea and I start off with an idea. It just doesn't necessarily materialize. This is how I had it in my brain.
Yeah. And I feel that that's probably a lot of how this is going to play out with a lot of people. So that's kind of number one thing. But yes, we are going to see these are the Petal Pockets out of the thing. And then this was the stuff that I created here. And this will be a little bit easier. I of course made it probably more complicated than it needed to be, because I tend to do that. Because I'm like, oh, well, you know, I can't just have them. And that's how Linda had them. She was all spot on and perfect. I'm like, no, I got to complicate things. So she just stacked them down. But we'll go through some of that. That's what today is about, is kind of talking about those different ways to do that. This will be the second part, because I really want to focus on these, because people have a lot of questions. And I understand that. For sure. All right, and I'm going to take P off, because she's just kind of, you know.
Yeah,
We'll go top view. There we go. And if you want to see your back, just, you know, let us know in the chat. Or if she has something to say, I'll turn the camera on her. And I went ahead, so as you guys saw possibly in the thumbnail, you know, this is what actually led to this. I had the full paper set prior to doing this, but then I'm like, you know, I work in such typically smaller journals. I create small things. I like these. Now, we haven't done the business card size in a while, but I was so loving these and the accordion fold. But whenever I was making these, I went ahead and kept all of my ephemera, my digital stuff that I had found and stuff. And some of it obviously I couldn't include in there because it has copyright, but this is mine, and so that was fine to use. But I wanted to go ahead and print it out again to kind of show you guys, like, that's how a lot of this was created. And then I just removed the pictures, which you could print out your own pictures, or if you already have a lot of things in your stash, then you can use that stuff to then decorate or embellish these panels once they are created. But see, these are the, I'm going to do a flip up. See, this is the flip up. I even have the little tag thing. And pardon the Mod Podge. It has really set up quite well. It's pretty, you know.
sometimes it's good that they're a little sticky. They don't fall out.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about that. It's kind of like
about.
holds it all together. Start, you know, breaking it apart, and then things just puke out.
And you don't want to be setting these in the sun.
No, but see, look, I mean, and even the color on that is pretty darn good.
Well, with any alcohol inks, you definitely need to coat.
Yeah, and this stuff has actually altered in color, which is pretty funny. I was looking at it the other day. And see, what I had done is, even after I'd printed these out, I had gone through, like, with probably Mr. Huey's, because that was, I think, the only thing we had at the time. And distressed them, you know, mucked them up a bit, so they look like it's older. And so that alters the papers as well. But now the pockets, I didn't print that part out. I feel that that's pretty standard, you know, business as usual. Journaling stuff. You guys can kind of work that out. I wanted to focus on more of these kind of weird little pocket things that I have,
Kim
you know.
says, yay for alliteration. I was an English person.
I love alliteration.
I do too.
So, and then, like, you can see this one is a pull-out panel. And see, these are more like commonplace books where they have information inside of them, like little field note type situation. But, I don't think that one printed out. I didn't feel I needed to print out every single one of them. But the Van Gogh one did. So where is that? Just so you can kind of get an idea and you can see why this makes sense. And this was a kind of a wonky one. Remember, this one took me a while to figure out.
Well,
Folding. See, there was even, yeah, see, there were some, oh no, that's not going to work. So, because I wanted it to line up like this, and it went really pretty cool with this. Is it Toque? I think it's Toque. It's the artist.
Oh.
Anyway.
Do not know.
See, and this is a flip down. We have a flip up and then a flip down. So let's get into it. Oh, and then the little petal card or petal envelope is what that's called in the journal, because this actually goes to one of the yellow ones. It has a magnet that goes inside of it. There's a magnet there. I can show you that because I have some magnets right here that it holds it, and then it actually spins. But I'm not going to dig the yellow one out and show you all that. We're just going to show you kind of how to put that little bit together. So let's get to cutting. I would have had this cut out, but I wanted you to see how it came in the set. So I do apologize, but this is, you know, this is a live stream, and this is
cutting.
I mean, I was going to print out multiple sets and then, you know, do the cooking show thing, but I will cut quickly, I promise. I'm not going to get all crazy perfection-y about it. So, this one is going to be, well, you can kind of look at it two different ways too, because there's some things. Let me get it cut out. But the arrows here indicate like where it's going to fold, because what's going to happen is this would actually be your panel that you're going to glue down onto the journal itself. And then these two become the door. So let's just get into it, y'all. And P, come on now. Chat with me. I don't know if she's just not had enough tea or coffee, or she's not drinking the coffee these days.
I'm not drinking coffee. I'm kind of off of the coffee. And what's going to happen when you cut that out and you don't have your arrows? So don't, what I do
okay.
is I rough cut everything. I would have cut those arrows off and I'd have to figure it all out. Let it back down on the paper.
This is why we got the demo. You can come back. I am thinking about putting like a link inside of the paper set so people will know, like, hey, you can come and watch this be done now that we're doing it on the YouTube, as they say, on the YouTube. And I would also cut this with my chopper, but we're not going to bust that thing out.
We need one of those little small, little cute ones like I see all the time.
Yeah, we do. And once you see this, you're going to go, oh, that's pretty simple. But, you know, when you're looking at a two-dimensional thing, and then trying to... Now, actually, what would be smart is... I should have left a little bleed on these. That would have been nice.
And the other thing that I would recommend before you start gluing this down and making it permanent in your journal is to go ahead and hit it with a coat of Mod Podge or some kind of sealant, because once you get it in there, it's really hard to do that without it getting stuck to something that you didn't want it to get stuck to.
So it would be like fold it,
unfold it.
Well, do as much of your embellishing as you possibly can, and then seal it. But we're big Mod Podgers. Not everybody's, you know.
No.
Not everybody loves the Mod Podge like we do. we have become less in love with the Mod Podge.
Well, when we stopped using alcohol,
that's true.
Source of coloration.
Coloration.
How about that word?
Coloration. So you'll see, like in the little journal here, this is a flip down. So this could be a flip down, which I like because the little, you got your wavy business there.
Now you're going to put a card on the back of that bottom part that flips
and then
down.
you would glue
Doesn't
it in.
seem very stiff.
Okay, I guess we're going to glue. Let's glue, y'all.
You have something?
I do. she be.
Oh. You know, while Mariah's doing that, I'll just chit chat. I don't really.
Do you want me to show your face?
No.
Okay.
You can just imagine. You've already seen me this morning.
She got.
Anyway.
Hey, you did get pretty here. Let's show that real quick. Hold on here. Let's see. I think this is the one. Oh no! Look there though. Ah! I have my pen in my mouth.
Yes,
There we
I
go.
did. And my. I even busted out my 60s hoop earrings this morning, and
They look like they could use a little buff, but
well,
I guess if that's the way you want to roll.
Now the problem is they're so old that all of the silver plating is wearing off, and now so that's just the way it is. It's kind
Just the way it is.
kind of a, what do I want to say?
Alright, I think I'm going to use these. So this is kind of one of the things, like, I love including these miniature postcards. And Lisa can, she can, I think she's seen that in the purple set. But
Okay, now you covered up my people talking.
your people talking?
I can't read them.
Oh, sorry. And Kim is asking. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's actually a 4-piece journal set. Like, there's 2 blue and 2 yellow that went with that. And then that's why I had this stuff. And these, I think I did include, they are in the set. This type of stuff I created separately, again, because, you know, a lot of it isn't public domain. So, I can't, you know, sell it or use it in that capacity.
This is one of my creations right there.
Yeah. The yellow paper. Mm-hmm.
And also...
Yeah, why don't you talk about that while I
this
cut?
This little blue... I don't know which one my finger's going here. It's opposite. It's just really confusing.
Yeah.
Are from some tags that I made. Which I was really rather proud of.
Yeah.
Now
I
that's
showed
what...
that.
And see, look at that.
See,
Okay. Having a hard time here with the opposite moving about. Oh. Is it
There you
more
go.
wonky on me?
Probably a little bit.
But that's with Mr. Huey's, and that blue, you have to be really careful. It goes everywhere, and you don't know it's everywhere until all of a sudden.
Here, like, actually what might be kind of cool is, so
something-
remember, I said this is like a craft with me, and I've watched you guys with your craft with me's. We're doing a lot of crafty on the fly. So, this is a little postcard that I included in the set because I did find it in the public domain. I think it's in there. Pretty sure. If not, let me know. Hit me up. I'll send it to you. But, maybe that would be cool. Might have to lose some coral over here off to the side. It's sticking. Gonna do a little off of this side. I want to keep that fish. I like that fish. And we're gonna lose a little bit over here off of this side.
Well, you're just trying to get it to fit.
I am. So that way, this could be like a flip, you know, flip up or flip down. Now, in all actuality, if you're gonna put it in the journal, so see, here's your white piece. This would go on the panel here, and actually this will be good because you could even make it like a little, it could slide into and then just be a little flip. You know, you have to trim it up a bit to fit in that pocket, but otherwise it would glue directly down to the panel. Man, look at how much that has faded. That used to be pretty brilliant blue.
Yeah.
But this was
Alcohol ink.
Yeah, alcohol ink. I mean, it's held up. It's just it used to be like.
Yeah, and actually
It goes better now.
with the rest of
It goes-
alcohol ink is a kind of, I don't know. I don't like it so much anymore because of the light fastness.
Yeah,
of
and
it.
you just
It
don't know.
If you don't have
I like
14 coats of UV protectant, etc., it fades, and it's kind of disappointing because what you thought was really, brilliant and vibrant just all of a sudden, faded out and not so good.
Faded out and not so good. It is so true. I can't tell you. Like the, and I'm so glad that we have taken pictures of things.
Yes.
As we have, because, otherwise we would not have, like, it just, see, that drove me crazy.
Now, if you have it stored away in a dark place or something.
Where nobody sees your art.
Yeah, like, we have this suitcase full of,
Alright, remember, this is just for demo. Like, this is more for me. Telling myself. I didn't line it up down there, and I lined it up over here, but anyway, you get the idea here. So it would be a little flip-up panel. You can put words, you can put whatever, you can trim your edges, you could even just make this a little tuck thing. There's so many possibilities. And then the reason that I gave you ones that, go opposite is because then, depending on the pattern, then you can flip it out. Or if you were even to create a journal that was, that same accordion fold, or just even in a larger journal, say like your, hang on a second. Like I have on these pages, you can come in, that nice and clean. It'd be fun to, if you did your thing this away, then you have a little flip out like this. And if you were to do something like this in a larger deal, or even in the smaller, you can put a magnet back behind there, and before you glue that flip panel, put a magnet inside of there, and then that way, you've got your connection. And it would click. Maybe we do one of those on this next one. I'll show you what I'm talking about with that.
Magnets are tricky.
Magnets are tricky. They can
Okay,
be.
you can take me away. I'm
okay. You're not contributing?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Alrighty. So let's do that on this one. We'll put a magnet in. You can see what I'm talking about.
It's really hard for me to do a lot of commenting on this because this part really just
It's
bores
just
me to tears.
all me.
This is anything that you see done in any of the journals that is of this nature. You can rest assured I had nothing to do with it.
Other than I will say,
I just throw the paper over here and Mariah does something with it.
But then she's a consultant.
Oh, well, I will, yeah.
I consult.
Mariah hollers at me and I walk over from my place across the room and look at what she's doing and
either give the thumbs up, thumbs down.
Move things around and.
Okay, there you go. All right, so same deal.
Do you want me to cut out anything?
No.
I enjoyed that.
She thought that was real funny. Some days she's good. Some days she's terrible. Just depends on her allergies.
Oh, I mean, and today has been
we've all been a little
sneezy and runny nose. And,
wheezy.
Oh, you know what? The wind blew yesterday. And I was outside with Izzy.
That'll do it.
And I don't know what it is. Whatever it blows in.
Sorry, I'm trying to grab my magnets here and there.
Like it.
And I've got a reminder. I want to do a special thank you thing towards the end as well. Everybody that's been supporting and been lovely. Alright, so what would happen here, and it's best to have multiple magnets, so don't be, I mean you can glue them down, but it's a lot easier to get placement if you have multiple magnets to visually see from the other side what's going to happen. So, like this would glue down to your page panel, because this is the just white part. This is the one that we've folded to create front and back. And then what you want, same situation. So this way your magnets align properly.
It really helps if they can attach to each other.
Yes, that is true. And then what I would do is glue this one in. And sometimes it's helpful to, and I learned this trick from Jeanette. I don't know if she's, in the chat or anything, but she's the one who taught me how to do this.
So you're covering up my chat.
Magnet business. She's afraid to touch the thing.
Oh.
Are they ATC size? These in particular are business card size because we have a ton of leftover business cards.
2 boxes.
Of 500. And there might even be more under there.
We should figure out more ways to use those.
We really do.
Because it's just a shame.
Or start sending them out to people. So let us know. Even if you're watching the replay back on this, let us know in the comment section if you want a little bit of happy mail. We will send them along to you.
I'm going to go fetch some of those.
Okay, yes. The problem is like you have to prep them. Now with this particular one, and I do have a video showing this part of the creating, I just covered everything in the binding tape. So I didn't have to prep the cards. So they really just are for the structure. And I would say that if you do this and you watch that video, I would give it even more of a margin of your fold area, because it did get chunky in certain spots and I could have used a little more give. But it still works pretty nice. And that binding tape is wonderful because it's stretchy. But anyway, so here we are with the magnet. And we're gonna...
Now, is the magnet strong enough to go through this?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it probably... But once you start adding other papers and stuff on top of it... Where's my little...
And these are really cool business cards. They have a green edge.
Well, and they feel wonderful. The paper on them is wonderful. So,
they're very substantial.
Oh. And they have they're that skin or touch. There's different paper companies that make these. And they're actually still good cards. We just don't
we'd
really...
like to get rid of them because I want to use this really cool looking box here. It has letters inside and out.
Oh, here. Yeah, you guys will appreciate something like that. Well, this was a they do them in 250 sets, but so we have like 4 boxes. Because I think we have 500 of every one of them. But yeah, I don't know. It does. It holds on either side. But once you start adding more things,
yeah,
because like even on my little accordion thing here, I know we're getting off topic, but hey, that's what a live's about, I suppose. If you want to keep us on topic, let us know in the chat. Otherwise, we're going rogue. The magnets. So what I ended up doing with this one, because this is even pretty thin stuff, because this is vellum. But once you started adding in like the flowers and things, then I was like, ugh. I ended up adding, oh no, not on this one. This was just 2 magnets. But it's kind of loosey-goosey. I really should add another magnet in there, but because it's vellum, I didn't really have anywhere to hide it. I think that was my ultimate decision on that. And I didn't actually use this. This was my practice.
It's still waiting for a home.
It is. I've tried to put this in numerous things. And I think it's so pretty because P had actually drawn out the flowers. And then I cut them out and colored them. So they're original. I was pretty proud of those. I just don't have anything to go.
Kind of Eastery.
I know. It's just, like, and I love these colors. I thought it was going to go in boho, but did not. It did not. Okay, so let's talk here. And maybe, since I do have the business card here.
Rogue is best.
Okay.
That would be my feelings.
All right, we're just going to build out this panel. So, like, this would be the panel in the accordion. And we're going to glue it down. But we need to make sure our magnets are in the right place. So we want it to kind of click down towards the bottom, like so. Bum bum. That's good stuff. So let's get this glued down. And one of the things that I was talking about with the tape is it is quite helpful. Then you can check position and such better. Things are flying all over the place over here. And you just need a little bit of double stick tape, double-sided, to sort of just...
I don't use that stuff either.
It makes her crazy.
I can't see to peel it off.
I'm doing pretty good
and
here.
The problem is once it has adhered to whatever it is, whether you wanted it there or not, it's not movable.
So you go, all right, things are looking good, in position. This is really what I learned from Jeanette. Because she does this to like every one of them. I get a little lazy at times, but if you want things to move along quickly and to stay in place properly, this is a very good method. So you see I have the little double-sided tape, holding position, other magnet on the other side, and then we're going to glue down to our panel.
Okay, we have Wave Crest Liz.
Oh, I wonder if that's Liz.
Hi.
Hello, Liz. I bet you that's our Liz from our circle journal. Let us know. Is it you, Liz Wheeler? All right, I got a little bubbly, but again, trying to be quick about this and not do my normal like it. This would take me 20 minutes just to.
Seriously, y'all.
Seriously,
Just don't know.
So our little magnet's in there, ready to go. Awesome. Now, same thing on the other side here, that we want to keep that there because then we know our position. You know, it's going to click in place. Need to get us a little bit of... Now, did you see how I flipped it over? Because you got to be careful about that. Your magnets, you know, you start hitting your, what is it, the polar opposites or whatever, they push away from each other versus... Yeah. That should be the right side, I think.
They're repellers rather than magnets.
Just double checking.
Measure twice, cut once.
That's right.
I can say that, but I don't usually do that.
Yeah, I know. I can't tell you how many times. All right. And then sort of just same situation over here. Now remember not to get too crazy with your embellishing or, you know, whatever you're going to glue on top of that magnet, because again, it will become less clicky.
So you're saying you don't want to put a whole bunch of stuff on top of the magnet.
On the one side,
you could actually come in and paint over it, or, you know, add some. Are those rust resistant?
Then I don't know. Hey, but we do have the magnets on our list over on our blog of our commonly used items, because let me tell you, these are commonly used around here.
Not by moi.
But by moi. I love them. Look, this is my second set.
That's how they come.
Yeah. And this one was about, you know, yay big. And what's great is you can just store them. I have them over here on the thing. They hooked anything metal.
The piano hinge on the cabinet doors, which we just use them as a bulletin board.
So there you go.
Closed.
And your magnet's there, and then you have the little clicky bit.
Now, what if you wanted to create that as a removable?
A removable. Oh.
Could you add another magnet so that it would
Well, if you wanted to just, you could even just cut this if you wanted it to come off and on. Sorry, I really do usually. I'm a little more spot on with my lining up, but said we're moving and a grooving here. So there we go, 2 options, a flippy up, a flippy down. You can flip them to the side. Got magnets going on those. Now, these get a little bit more complicated over here in this business of. So, and I include a lot of those in the set. And even with little windows, like, so if you wanted to cut that out, you could. What would be cool, like on this, is if you cut out the little panel and you had something, glued down on your main journal part. I'm trying to describe that the best way. So when I say panels, I'm typically speaking of like when I create these in a accordion fold, in a concertina accordion fold. So that creates a panel when you have those types of folds. Or if you want it in a journal, on a journal page, that's going to be, your base. And what would be, I think, really nifty about this is if you did your work, put down your pictures, or even, this could get really artsy. See, that's our other problem, is like I love junk journaling. I so appreciate what many people do. I, for whatever reason, I can't ever quite master that. This is the closest I've ever gotten. And then we really started jumping over into more art journal stuff, which we like a lot because I get to use P's work and I love that. So that's kind of, whatever you want to do, your style. Like this would be great to put a little, and actually you could even just cut this out partially and create it as a pocket. So then this covers it up. You do your fold over and the flip, but then, because this is going to be the panel that gets glued down. So see, this is a flip like this instead of a long ways. So let's do that one real quick. I know.
Okay,
P is getting so bored.
This is just like, I'm nodding off.
Ugh.
And I'm not being rude or anything, but this is not part of journaling that I do.
Her brain doesn't work this way.
2-year-old attention span. It's not moving along, and you're not slapping some paint on, or drawing, or doodling, or doing something actively. I'm just not there. Another thing that are we going to show any of our washers today?
We can.
The washers have been embossed. Not sure what all of that clunking going on.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Do we have somebody break into the house?
Doing our dishes? Well, heck.
Gosh.
Let's invite them over more often.
Seriously. Get you guys lunch.
Stay a while. Make some more dishes. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Right, am I right? Yes. Okay. So yeah, what would be cool with this little booger here, I put panels on each one of them. Could cut it out together and then make it just like a window, and then that goes into that one. That would be fun. Or if you wanted to just cut it, or actually slit it at the top there, and then you could create a pocket. That would be fun. But lots of cool ways to use these little flip panels, and it just gave you like the opportunity to use lighter weight paper. I mean, this was my thought behind creating the paper set the way that I did. You use lighter weight paper, which allows you to do magnet things and fun things of that nature. Now, these magnets do work with
lightweight cardstock.
Yeah, lightweight cardstock, because I have used them, but sometimes you got to double them up, or so this was obviously like this is cardstock, because I think I printed front and back. Or maybe I glued it all together. Oh man. Let's see. I can't remember. Pretty sure this is cardstock. Because yeah, that's one piece. But because I have the thing that goes inside of it, see there's a magnet there. Plus this has 3-dimensional Mod Podge on it.
And that's definitely a factor.
Right, and this is all in the set too. So you can create the little folded piece, have it all lined up. This is your fold mark. These are where you cut these. Don't cut in there, and then that way it saves you some work. Or you can cut them and then glue them. But I'm trying to think ahead, and this is just for my purposes, and make it easier. And so if you fold these along the lines, they should match up properly. I say should, depending on your folding abilities. Mine are not so great today. Then it matches up nicely. Even left a little bit of space there just for that, for your fold, for the bend. The bend. And then I put a magnet inside of here, and plus it has this is yogurt top. It's amazing how it has the embossing. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but the embossing is still there a bit, but this has gotten a lot of play. Like, people like messing with it when we show them this. And even over here, how well it has held up. But see, there's a magnet that side, and then that way, when you have your little thing inside of it, I even have one that goes on top and then one on the journal itself. So then it connects and it spins.
It's very kinetic.
Yes.
I wonder where Dave and Brian are. They should be watching this. Actually, I think they have day jobs, so.
Yeah, I would say
a
that.
bit of a whip.
I don't know. What time is UK time right now? Is
Well, I think it's
like
2
4?
o'clock or something.
I think it's 4.
Wow.
Comment. Let us know in the chat. So anyway, that's some ways to use the panels. Now, this is one of the bigger accordion ones. So let's do it next. And that's kind of, this is the same as, say, not this one, because this has, see, I made it smaller, and you'll see that in the set. There is one that has a little bit. Pete is just yawning, and she's just, oh, she's terrible.
Fidgeting.
I need to give her something to do.
Just go drink some green tea.
Okay. So, I think I can remember how to do this. It's been a while. It's been a while. Now every time I sing, I do think about Dave. He's a singer.
Well, my cutting, since that's such riveting visuals, I'll just tell you this little story about Izzy.
Here, I'll get you. I think this is. Oh.
So,
yeah.
She came up to me one day and she was getting kind of sleepy, and she said, Chi, I really need you to sing me a lullaby. So I start off with something, and she says, no, the la 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 lullaby. So she doesn't want you to sing the words. She wants you to sing la 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 la. And it really upsets her to know. I mean, it's not even rational how angry and upset she gets when you start singing the words to it. It's just the la la lullaby. So that little bit right there.
All right, that one I cut a little short. Done. Sorry, that was my lovely, but that's all right. You guys get the idea.
Adapt and modify.
That's right.
That's my...
hand cutting here. It ain't pretty, y'all. So, this one, same kind of situation, but this allows you to have this whole big fold-out panel thing that can be done in a number of ways. So, what I mean by that is, you know, you can you want to fold it into your panel first, the one that's getting glued down, so that way you can kind of line it up.
But if it doesn't line up perfectly...
Yeah, you saw that even in the...
do some other things.
The reason I'm telling you that is because I have done it.
Paper is such a marvelous thing. You can just cover up all kinds of... And if you do make a mistake, you should just go ahead and repeat
And I think
it.
I did this on purpose, that I left that little bit of extra so you can come
because
in.
It attaches.
Well, and you get pull. So when you're folding something this much, and you guys that do the awesome binding and everything, you kind of understand what I mean by that. But so what this does is creates a true accordion.
Okay, I'm ready for me to go away.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I need to flip cameras. There we go. Or you want to go away all together? We'll just do that. Okay, there we go.
Now, if I want to read over here?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so that's one way. Now, if you are embellishing and doing whatever and you wanted it to perhaps, you got to flip it. That's one nice thing about them being blank. I had a bunch of struggle with, I had to really consider exactly how it was going to, and remember I had to print it out a couple of times. So if you're pre-printing the stuff on top of it, you have to have it like the way that you, in the direction. This gives you the opportunity to get your base down and know which way you're going to do it. Then you can come in and decorate or embellish or put down your pictures,
yes,
or whatever it is.
Otherwise, you're not going to know what needs to go where.
Well, in the direction. See, this is where Pete totally gets lost. Like, this is not how her brain works at all.
I would just figure this out later after I'd screwed it up 2 or 3 times. That's how I work.
So with it being blank, it gives you that opportunity to kind of work it out and go, okay, I want it like this, and then I'm gonna, put my thing here and my thing here. Or, okay, no, I really want it to come out this way. Now you can also do a little bit of a gate fold, which is
into itself.
Kind of into itself. I don't know if this one's long enough to do that. Where am I looking? Okay. It's the crazy. Yeah, see, this was kind of backwards. The way it goes. Oh, I folded one under because I wanted this part of the picture to show. And see, this is purposeful that it's got a little ledge there because you want it to kind of have room to, and not get messed up on the edges. To pull out then that. But see my folding and figuring out some of those things. And there is a little bit of extra to line up to however you want it to kind of do, because depending on your fold, like so, that's how this one is. That other piece was folded under. So you're reviewing that section. This is some complicated stuff. It can be. Peas glazed over.
I'm working.
All right. That's pretty much.
Are we
flippy.
ready to do the petals?
Are you ready to do the petals?
I'm really kind of looking forward to that part.
Okay. I think we've covered flips, folds. You can do all kinds of things. Put magnets in them. Make them into pockets. Do all kinds of things. Like I said, this was pretty simple. I mean, if you want me to show it, I can. A little circle thing.
No. Oh, petals. I want
Petals. Hey, well, the lady that's sitting next to me, she wins.
Yeah, if y'all just dying to see that circle thing, you can comment down there.
I could do a whole video just on the circle.
Back to you later on that.
If you want that.
Yeah.
think these are all Cloudy Seaside. I was just trying to keep this group together. Otherwise, okay. Petals. And
I did have an idea for that top part up there. I think we should do some of the modeling paste.
Yeah, that would be great. It needs something.
Because I think you just need something there to break up all that
flatness.
But I don't think it needs to be a lot because you don't want it to fight with the rest of it.
I'm pretty proud of this purple. I mixed this myself because my mixer was not feeling, I don't know, I kind of hinted towards it, but she was not really.
I think I was busy doing something really important.
I'm sure it was. Absolutely.
I was probably messing with my beads or my bracelets.
Maybe. Now, I think what I'm going to do, so you guys can kind of get a better idea. Now, our thought with this particular one, this is in my journal that I've been doing prompts and things and all kinds of stuff. I started out designing it, laying it out this way.
Portrait.
Yes. But then, I swear, whatever I've been putting in this journal,
it just wants to go the other way.
It really just looks good this way.
Well, I think it does. It's much.
Well, and then that's why I added in the little bit down there. I wanted to do a circle thing. The lady Linda, that's how she had done hers. But then it just didn't feel right on mine because I had, again, gone rogue and made things more complicated than they needed to be. So let me show you the simple, very effective, beautiful way that these petal cards or petal pockets can be created. I think I may just pull out a page so it's easier and I don't have to deal with the bulkiness of the journal. And you guys, you know, I'm sure you get the idea.
I've already done it once in there. So.
Yeah, I feel that. Now this is perforated, but I have learned it's a lot easier just to get it started with the scissors. Well, see, I say that. And if I would just use the perforation properly.
Proper perforations. There we go for some more alliteration.
Yeah, for these purple petal pockets.
Whoa, say that fast. Peter Piper.
Oh, Felicia's here. Hey, Felicia. So glad you could make it.
Oh, there she is. I didn't.
So you missed our flips and folds maybe, but that's all right because P about fell asleep.
I did. I had to go and get tanked up on my green tea.
Tanked up on my green tea. That's great.
Okay. It moves so I know something's going on there.
That's great.
Hey. Oh, we're happy you're here.
All right. So you saw on the one, although I will keep that off to the side so we can kind of reference. Crashing into things over here. We're going to keep that over here.
Handy.
Dandy.
I could even
there.
Get together my modeling stuff and we could do it real quick.
All right. Well, why don't you do that? That'll keep her busy and off my case about, you know, cutting things out and how riveting that is. Like I said, I'm going to go cut very quickly. And I did try to round these corners. I mean, I don't know how people... I don't know. Everybody's kind of got their different ways of fussy cutting. And I don't mean to make assumptions. But I like it when things give me a little bit more like... I love it when it's pre-rounded when I print it. Because then I can follow that if I need to. You don't have to. If you want your corners... blunt? Is that the right?
What is that?
Corners. You want them sharp versus rounded. Pointy. There we go. I have not had enough coffee this morning. Brain's not quite working. There we go. See, normally in the videos, I would just fast forward through all this. And like I said, I wanted you to see them in the paper. And I could have printed out like I saw more of them, but I don't want to have a million. I guess I could send them in Happy Mail. I didn't want to have a million purple pockets running around here that I'd get. It's kind of like the boho papers. I really got sick of those because I had, 3 or 4 different sets that I sent off to different people, plus then pieces and parts, and then I made the spiral journal, and I just got really tired of those papers.
I'm not a big purple person anyway.
I love
I
these
just make
purple
purple
papers.
because Mariah tells me to.
It's true. I have to request it specifically. It does not just come out of the
Whenever I start.
gel printing.
Whenever
I was like, could you please make something purple
gel printing.
before everything goes brown? Could we have some purple?
Okay, so, while she's futzing around there, I'm just going to go ahead and, give you a look. This is kind of... So, yesterday,
Here, when you tell the stories, I want you to have your...
so frustrated. Well, let me go get my... I have to show them. I have to have visuals.
Okay, she's going to get her visuals all set up there. Okay, so this is one very simple, effective, beautiful way to create the pockets. And so then what you do is, starting at the top, you leave this open to be your pocket. So your little thing would come out of here. Like so. Then the next one down, you can either go out of that side, and see, this was where I started getting all creative. You can go this away, or you could go that way. I don't recommend that unless you're doing it opposite, but then things puke out. This has been our experience.
Well, one thing that I can see that you could do sort of reminds me of my boat for my women,
And for your people.
my peoples, is if you overlap them, you could have them into one big giant pocket.
Yes.
If you glued the edges, overlap the edges.
That is true. See, now I didn't even think about that. And that would be really cute, especially, okay, let's cut up the, all right, Pete, I'm going to put you on while I cut these up.
Okay.
And I think it's this one that we want. Okay, there you go.
All right, so I had all of my gel plate things in these Amazon things. Well, the problem with the Amazon little, bubble folder thing, that takes up a lot of room.
After a while, it adds up.
It does add up. Now, I did keep this one just simply because this is going to be for just collages, and I put a lot of papers in here.
See, you guys didn't know you were going to come here and get some organizational tips.
Yeah, especially for me. But that's not my métier, my go-to. Well, I am very proud of this. Okay, where are you? There you are. I this just drives me crazy. I'm so, I don't know, anyway, spatially challenged that when I have to reverse things, this is really, okay. So, I have them all labeled, so now that I know when I want to go for something, I can just immediately pull out. But what I was getting to here is, okay, Mariah was laughing about and the orange and the red is really a real, it just leans towards that. It's mostly just brown and rust. But my brown and rust folder here, probably pull it out without even looking at it, is the biggest one in the bunch.
Might have to move up to 2 folders.
Yeah, because it's getting kind of poochy out there. See that?
It's fluffy.
It is. I'll have to go up to a double folder there. I've already got it figured out, though. I'll just use some of that really horrible tape that Mariah has that sticks on both sides, and just stick one to the back so that, they don't get mixed up and
That's probably not a bad idea.
put around wherever.
There you
But
go.
anyway, here's my whole...
See, this is the camera. There you go. It's like Izzy. I'm trying to always tell her where the camera is.
Those are all of the gel flakes. Well, they're not all. I still have some more that I discovered this morning when I was looking for something else.
All right, now we're going to go back up to our top
Overhead.
view. All right. I'm loving this flippy backy thing. Let us know if you're liking that or if it's annoying. I'm liking it. Because so many times we're like, I think they need to see our face and I want to tell a story. And it's hard to, be so animated with the hands. Now, your idea was just darn near brilliant. And if you cut it out just so like what I was talking about, like if the spiral bind's still here, you want to kind of be careful. The nice thing is if you create your pocket over here, but your things are going to have to be short enough that you can put things in. Now, if this is an accordion fold, kind of leaves you options either way.
Can I just mess with that for a little bit?
Well, what are you planning
What are you planning
What
on
are you doing? What are you doing? I didn't know we needed another set.
Are you planning on using this?
Well, because it was your idea about the one pocket.
Well, I still have another one.
Okay, well, can I at least just see here? And then what you do is you bring your other set in on top of there. You can probably either cut in just a little bit more, but then this keeps your full pocket. That's just some awesomeness right there. You could even cut these down a bit more.
Because I think
you
get
want
to
those,
see more of the paper underneath.
Yeah, I think actually what it would be is a better thing to do the solid ones, the leafy purple ones as the big piece, and then bring these in over the top because they're more, it's to break it up, make it a little more interesting. Unless you want it very monochromatic, and you're doing those. If you're distressing the edges, that's going to create awesome definition.
Okay, can I have it now?
Let me just finalize my thought process there. But yeah, I think if you cut these in half and then did that, oh man, that would be really cool. May end up doing that. Getting excited.
Okay, well, you might have to print on another one because I'm going to
chop things up.
No, I'm not going to.
Would you like to sit here?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
You just go ahead and talk about whatever you're doing there, and I'll mess around over here.
Well, would you like to be seen?
No.
Well, that was what I was going to use over. But that's okay. I'll just do it with the purples. It's fine. We're cool.
Okay.
You're doing good things. Now, one of the things I did do in another, and I wish I had it as an example, but it was part of the circle journal thing, so it is off, I think, in the Netherlands, that particular one. But you can create the pockets like so, and I love this whole idea of it, just kind of coming out of that corner into the center of the page. P doesn't like things pointing into the corner, so that might bother her, but if you go through and do a little bit
it's a bad design.
Unless, of course, she wants to do it and it makes sense.
If you have a really good reason.
Yes, if you have a really good reason. I have a really good reason because I think that looks pretty. Now, it might even be a little bit more fun if you have it like this. Coming. Oh, I knew that was going to happen there. Alright, because I want this to show to you. So you can see the different ways about it. So if you just glue them down, and then you can stick your tags in them like so. And the thing is like if you really want, you can even create larger versions of these with just the regular papers. You don't have to. I just wanted to include them at this size because I thought they were cute and, more inspiration. But see how fun that would be? Look at that.
Absolutely.
Oh, Lisa used the half sheet of the pocket pages like P said, folding and making one big pocket. Oh, so see? And see, I hadn't even thought about that. That's brilliant, though. What you got going on there? I didn't even think about that.
Well, I bet you didn't think about this either.
Yeah.
Now, my folds are a little wonky.
That's okay. We're doing lives. We're not doing...
But if you actually fold them in on them...
Look at that. So just keep it as one piece. And then you could even,
fan it.
And fan it. And you could glue those down. This is kind of similar to some of those ones that I've been doing in those steampunk journals. Or on the steampunk journal pages a little bit.
It is, yeah.
And this creates a cool little... Because what would be nifty is if you... So how she has it folded here, it creates a little lip. And if you kept some of that fold, like you just glued right here, then you could even, if you have a deeper fold, I would say
Well, I
deeper
don't even
fold
think
it.
you need a deeper fold. Just make a slit.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then just stick it in there.
Yeah, stick it in there. Yeah. I love that idea. Yeah, so glue that down and then cut inside of it. That would be fun.
And I can even see layering these.
Well, and if you just glue along your one edge, so if you don't do the cut, and you just glue along the one edges, you can create a nifty little, it's because it gets a bit more springy, so you can put more stuff in there.
Aha.
Aha. And see, you could even put it at the bottom of the page like this. I see this going with, if you're doing anything that's kind of the Asian inspired, a lot of the Oriental or geisha journals that you see. This would be really, yeah, this would be cool. And I think once you got the fold down, I mean, of course we want you to buy and use our papers. That would be awesome.
And you could also take and do some ruching in between
Oh, that would be
those,
beautiful.
which would be, I think, really,
So right now all I have
really
is this
tactfully
junky.
interesting.
So this is just regular tissue paper that I'm not in love with. It does not work the same as the little more
The
expensive
high dollar
archival.
archival.
Because it just is, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just, it was not as easy to work with. But what
Well,
Pete's saying is,
it isn't as substantial, and it sticks to your fingers more.
yeah. So if you get that fold a little deeper, that would be cool. Is you got to come in with like the little bits of, oh, that's pretty awesome. Pretty excited about that.
But I think any time that you can get dimensions going on, it makes your work more interesting. It's more engaging to your viewer.
You know, that's how we roll.
They can interact and move things about, and I think that should be a goal.
A goal. Un goal.
And we're going to do the light and fluffy
Oh, you're gonna, all right.
modeling.
I'm gonna let you jump over here. You're gonna do it on my page. All right.
Are you
better not mess it up. No pressure. All right, guys.
That's just so funny.
So, tons of ideas with the Petal Pockets. I mean, even more than I had envisioned. I'm very excited about that. How about you guys? Excited? Woohoo! I'm excited to see Lisa's. She has a lilac and lace journal that's coming up. She did use our papers, which we're so excited. In fact, let me take this opportunity to give like special thanks to a lot of people. I mean, you heard me mention Jeanette earlier. She's the magnet queen and makes folios like nobody's business. I have created a spot on our homepage for all of you guys that have been just supporting us and loving on us, and we love the love. And so we wanted to, an area that we could kind of showcase, like if you've done a video or, you know, you've done stuff with us and with our papers, we wanted to showcase that. And so like Jeanette Vilda, Priya from Feathers and Ferns, she's awesome. She has used our papers and she makes beautiful things. Carrie Gibson Art, we're doing her prompts. So check those videos out.
We have another one coming up.
Yes, we have another one coming up. Hopefully we'll drop it on Friday. Fingers crossed. Things are getting a little crazy around here with my actual, like, real job. So that really taps into my PM time. Colleen at Get Art Creations. She is building a beautiful set, or a journal with our cloudy seaside. I mean, she's just doing amazing things. I love it. And, of course, Lisa that is here in our chat. And Felicia that are in our chat. You guys, Felicia has made an accordion journal. It was beautiful. We featured it. And Lisa's lilac and lace that's coming up. So, thank you guys. I really did want to make sure that I had that in here today and loving on you as much as you have loved back to us. So, much appreciated. Now, let's get on to some fluffy, light and fluffy modeling paste.
Which we've never used, by the way. I don't know if this is a good time to bust that
That's
out.
fine. I don't care. I mean,
if it doesn't work, we'll do something else.
We'll fix it.
We'll fix it. And so,
or scrap it. Some things get scrapped.
I would say, I'm gonna give you a percentage here.
Oh.
90% of the time, those fix-its turn out better than what you started with.
That's so true.
I really
Just needs a
sometimes I
little-
just want to screw up right away so that, you know, I can start
Get it out of the
fixing
way.
Yeah. Get her
Look,
done.
no pressure, because that is so true. Like, if you've done something and you've worked so hard on it and you're at that last bit, you're less likely to take chances because you're like, oh, it will screw up the
wonderful.
whole thing. Whereas
then-
if you just do it from the beginning, you're like, everything I do to this can only make it better.
It's
Right?
kind of one of those, what have I got to lose?
Situation.
Of course, you know, there's is always the, I mean, I have some gel plates that are, yeah, they lost. Okay, this is a good thing
like
here.
that?
Well,
Is
the
it the
only
wrong way?
problem is, yeah, it needs to be. I don't know. I can. Are we? We're really not in camera.
Do you want to take it out of the journal? I'm okay with that because we can put it back in.
No, I'm just gonna flip it over like this.
Okay.
I'm. You know, this is not like I'm spraying Mr. Huey's or anything. I'm just.
Well, and you can see the edges of the journal. I did.
Yeah.
I did it with the blue, which was in here. I'll give you a. Let's see.
All right, let's open this. Wait,
There we go.
oh, it is different texture-wise. My other stuff is kind of gray and grimy looking.
Yeah, that's the liquid
This is-
text is the right, isn't it? Or is it golden?
It's
It's kind of the weird
golden.
gray color.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out white, or sort of pumicey, I would say.
My hair's kind of flat. today,
Okay,
sorry.
you know, I've watched people do this, and there's like all kinds of different ways to do it.
Well, here, I'm gonna get my face out of there. Just, there we go. So you guys can see what's going on. This is one of our stencils that we made.
Yeah.
So P, like, just typically I ask her to use the Stuart Simple Black 2.0 because we haven't really, you know, used it all up, and then we'll move to 3.0. But it's really fantastic because when she like paints things or creates, I don't know, it's just little, it's not sketches, but you know, like the flowers. She did that. She painted those, and then I can take a picture of it or scan it.
Okay, now,
That's fantastic.
folks, come on, give me
Well
a little
done.
love here.
Well done.
All right, now,
No.
I don't,
How are you
I
gonna not screw that up?
I don't know. Well, and I'm not going to be able to do it because if I lay this down, it's going to smoosh that stuff around. I really should have
Why don't-
started over
yeah.
here and moved this way.
Or why don't you cut? It's not like we can't make another one.
I know, but it takes you forever to make me stencils.
Oh, well, that's just not
It
nice.
is true, people. It really is true. I put my request in weeks ahead of time. All right.
Well, it takes like, because I have to run them through twice, especially with this new stuff she got. Jeez.
Yes, we have some substantial stencil material.
Substantial stencil material.
Yeah, and I'm just going to cut off this edge
Yes.
here. I really didn't need that anyway, except sometimes it does
Well,
have
and
to
that was-
block it.
Sort of my bad. What I should have done is more of it. This was sort of a test stencil more than anything.
All right, now we have less that's lopping about. Now, I don't know. I want to be really careful because I
Well,
really like this one.
The smart thing would have been to do all of the stencil work beforehand and then glue down the petal pockets. We're reverse engineering.
But look how good I did there. I mean,
You
I did get a
did.
little bit on.
But I kind of like that.
Whatever. Whatever there. And I'm just thinking, I don't... I just want a spiff of it there. I don't want oodles and scoodles.
Should have sprayed some of my color in with it. That's okay. I'll rub it on later.
Well, I kind of got down on your
Yeah, I
whatnot
did.
there.
That's all right.
You know, I might. You want me to try to scrape it off?
I think you should just leave it.
Okay.
I love it. Can you do a
All
little?
right.
Here, look. Tuck your stencil in over here. Cause see that one lifts.
Oh,
And get you one last one in there of that little spiff.
well, the problem with my spiff here is my. Okay, I'm just destroying this
That's
stencil.
fine.
Destroying the stencil because I will not be able to use it for my gel plate. It will.
Well, it had glitter on it anyway. You weren't using it. I had taken the stencil over.
Just hints coming out there and kind of, oh, whoops. It's all right.
Oopsie doodles. Plus, I want to redo this stencil and connect some of those points where
Yeah,
I've learned some things since I've done this stencil. I'm always trying to learn something. Make it better. Make it better.
Okay.
I'd like to offer these stencils in our shop. I just don't.
We haven't quite figured out how to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I need people over in our shop.
But see what Mariah's talking about. See the places where it broke there? The petal was not defined because they were too close together.
Yeah, blobbed.
And the Cricut cutter thing didn't understand that.
Yeah.
That's my point in life. So many times I misunderstood.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Getting some love on our stencil.
Hey, light and fluffy's some pretty good stuff. I like it. I almost like it better than golden. The color wise anyway.
Oh, well, and it seems that
If
you
you're
get
not-
more, I mean, it's puffier. As it indicates that it's light and
says.
fluffy.
Light and fluffy.
They ain't lying.
Yeah. Alrighty.
We are believers.
You know, I think the one, no, that's not true. We haven't used that one. Alright. Now, what's next?
Oh, Felicia, they're available in both. So just go to, I think you can even sort in the shop for 8.5 by 11. Because I do everything in A4 and 8.5 by 11 because, you know, I want to give the love to our friends in the UK and everywhere else in the world that uses A4 except for, you know, the United States, which is US Letterhead.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that.
Really, it would be smart just to do A4. You could use the A4. It's just, it's longer. You'll lose some of your image, but yeah.
Okay, can you hand me
Yeah.
my bracelet stuff? Are we ready for that?
Yeah. So we're going to let that dry. That's kind of the end of our pocket, flips, folds, pockets. If there's anything that you guys have questions about, let me know. If you want to come back and watch any of this later on, please do. That's awesome. Comment. Ask us questions there. We're on social media. You can ask us questions.
No, I just
there.
have to hook me up that bag there.
Okay. Well, I was going to get this out of the way so I don't smoosh it because it's quite lovely.
It really is. I think it was just the...
It's what it needed. It needed some breaking up of the space. And I'm really kind of hoping that it pulls some of that color up, but I doubt that it does. I'm just
I think it's too thick.
Yeah,
I
spray it
really
on
think
top.
it's too thick. Okay, so very quickly.
This is kind of a recap of last week, our live.
Whoa.
Because, you know, we kind of left things at, you know,
The
where
point where I think I did a couple of beads, and I don't even remember which ones I did, but anyway, whichever ones that I did do, they have now
Right.
been coated with, remember I was talking to you about this stuff? It's called PC Petrifier. It's a wood hardener, and it looks white. You can see it's kind of milky, but it dries clear with a slight gloss.
I feel like I should just turn
But-
it.
You can hear that. You can see this. No squishy. I mean, it's super, super hard. And these are the bracelets that this one was the one I was started on. I went ahead and did this one.
And remember, we had to hang it on the line.
I had to hang it on the line. But this is the one that we started from scratch. Remember, this was the bacon bracelet.
Bacon bracelet. No longer bacon.
Yeah, if you'll have to watch the other video in order to understand what we're talking about. But this is one of my gel prints done with the rice paper. And I love the rice paper because it's just a little bit more substantial than the tissue paper. And I have some more ordered, some different stuff that's, I don't know, it's not in yet. So I don't know. All right, anyway, back to the
Because I wanted
beads.
her also to demo, if you can, you're going to, The string technique.
The string technique, how you
Because
go
that was really confusing on how.
back and forth. And I'll just take this off for a minute because this is, pick these up at the Albuquerque Flea Market, which is, you know, I love the Albuquerque Flea Market. And they're just little turquoise discs. But I didn't want, if you put them all together, this is what you get. Okay, how interesting is that? Plus you use a whole lot and it's going to weigh a ton, and if you fall down, you might not be able to get up. Kind of thing.
It's really a safety thing.
It is a safety thing. Oh, look, that one's got a little nick out of it.
Yeah. My gripe about those beads is that they are not party beads. Meaning, like, you can't be dancing and getting crazy because they will break.
And falling down in gutters and whatnot. You know.
I don't know anybody that does
Yeah,
things.
Okay, so anyway, this is where I got this idea for stringing my paper beads, because I wanted you to be able to see all the loveliness that you've created there rather than this just one little outside edge. There's no such thing as a bad bead here. See how that crunching over? And what I actually did is I took, after I put some of that stuff on, and squished it down so that I didn't have anything sticking up. It's all
Here, hold it in your hand.
flush.
There you go. Then you can bring it up a little closer.
Flush with the edge there.
Then bring it up. There you go. See? Perfect. Like a pro.
Alrighty, and then these, which had a big fat center, because I used a, I don't know what I used. Oh, I used a paintbrush, which, you know, I didn't really like because it was emphasizing this side rather than the edge. So I just took some of this paper, which I had
Tried to make.
But I've figured out something. I got it. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I just rolled up some of this stuff, stuffed it inside of there. And so this is going to be, this will go like this. And I have 3 of those. And unfortunately, I ended up with an odd number, and I should know better than that. So it doesn't come out. I'm not going to string these all the way, but I'm going to show you the technique. Okay, so you will need 2 links of the same. And you want to make sure that they're plenty long enough, because you can't change your string in midstream. Okay?
Say that again.
You can't change your string in midstream. So basically, you will want 2 pieces, and these 2 pieces, to start off with, you're going to interlock them. Well, I'm going to just have to. I'll use this for something. Right now, I can't find my sage. Okay, so I've got
Well, this
2
is probably
links.
better. This is nice and
2 links.
good contrast.
Good contrast, yes. You want them to start off relatively even on the ends. So you take these 2. And the initial one, your initial start, to get you started here, you're just going to loop it through.
Did you practice this?
A little bit.
It's been a while since you strung those beads.
It's been a while since I've strung any kind of beads. So I'm using this as my focal bead in the center.
So you start from kind of your center, the part that's going to hang down, and work
Work out both ways, right and left. And kind of, you know, you want to stay pretty much, because you want it to.
Hey, and those of you that are probably, you know, journal makers and such, these would be really cool ways to create dangles and all those little bibbly-bobbly bits that I think are so cool. I love a big chunky journal with all that stuff hanging off of it.
I know, I do too. I really
I'm always like,
do.
ooh, like I wanna touch it and interact with it.
Okay, now you're gonna try to keep that kind of centered, and I would probably knot this off. I don't know. It's totally up to you. All right. I'm not going to do that because right now I do not want to. You're going to put one in this way and then one in this way, so that they're going in opposite directions of each other. And isn't that wonderful what happens there? You see that? All of a sudden you have this, you're focusing on your edges rather than your...
I like the idea of the knotting because I think it probably holds it in place a bit better.
It does, and I would do that if I didn't want to, if I wanted to not waste my stuff there. Okay, so the other side is the same thing. You grab your bead, you put it through this way.
And this is kind of like folding that stupid triangle thing that I'm still working on. You go from one side to the other. So that way, in the end, you have a more balanced string. Or a balanced fold.
And I would just go back and forth. I would knot this off between each one. The other option that you have is you can take and you can put another bead on that's going to keep it in place.
Oh. So there you go.
And that's going to make it
like a stopper.
A stopper. And this, the string that I recommend is the flat waxed linen. It's sometimes referred to as flax. And it's multi-strand, so I'm trying to get them apart, but they're not doing it usually.
But that's sort of what you want.
Yeah, that's sort of what you want. It has, there are many strands there, it's not just one, and they're tied together. Okay, so you can see how that works. And then, because we're going to be very symmetrical here.
Which Pete usually is not.
I'm usually not. So there, you get the idea of what's going to happen there. I think they're quite lovely. And they match
the bracelet.
The bracelet.
We've got a set.
Got a set. All right, now, that's done. Moving back to this. Hear that? That's what you want to hear. Now, I am a little,
There's some squishy spots still.
There's still some squishy. See that?
Yeah.
I'm not thrilled about that, but I don't think it's going to...
Because remember, this is just the surface. So there's going to be decorative.
This is the decorative.
And then what did you figure out that you were going to...
Okay, so...
And then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to, cut off a little bit early today. Have some things going on. And the reason that we did Tuesday is we didn't really want to compete with the inauguration tomorrow.
Yeah.
We felt that,
Yeah, that would be rude.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I've discovered. And I didn't say this the last time. Making this bracelet, it's been 3 or 4 years since I've made, even more than that.
No, well, maybe.
I haven't made any since I moved to Texas.
Yeah, she's been here now.
All right, so.
About that.
On the cutting length of your strips, if you take and you measure it on your thing so that it is overlapping ever so slightly.
And this is with that crazy paper.
This is with the crazy paper, especially.
This is what you figured out.
Because the crazy paper, all right, so you don't see anything. Now, the crazy paper, most of the paper, and this one is not, this is an exception, the pretty part is in the middle. But most of them, the interesting part is here. So instead of having the seam come around to the back side,
I like that.
I want it to come to
and we talked about that a little bit in the video.
Front side. So those overlap, and you can see that. I think I can make, and I haven't done it, but I think my glue needs to be stiffer.
Yes.
And I think I need to go to maybe even the art glitter glue. All right, one last thing, and then I'm really done with my little... Okay. All right, so I left 2 of these strips long because with meeting that thing on the surface, I can take this strip then and go all the way
I had suggested
around this to cover up any imperfections that might occur. One last thing before we go. Don't forget to sign your work. Sign it and date it. Then I'm still going to do 2 more coats of the petrifier, which I put into this little thing because it's a lot easier. Can you see how loosey-goosey it is?
And I have that on the blog because I did a blog about the whole bracelet and bead making and link to that video, and then I'll link to this part of the video as well.
Okay, so it's very watery. In fact, when I was doing 50 of these beads at one time, I put them on fishing line,
And
looped it
just
through,
dunk them.
and dunked them and hung them on a little drying rack with I lined, I can't remember what I used, paper clips maybe, I don't know, some kind of wire, paper clips, and just hung them up there. The thing is, you want to keep moving them around a little bit because they will get stuck to the fishing line. But if you were doing multiples of these, I'd highly recommend this worth setting up your little
Station.
dunking station. Because painting this stuff on is kind of a pain in the rear end. And if you are going to paint it on, do make sure that you put it on the side to get it down into.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about dunking it is you get into
It
those
does.
little surfaces.
It's a lot more efficient. And yeah. Okay, well I think that's it. Anybody have any questions there?
Questions, comments? Otherwise, we're gonna kind of
Isn't that wonderful?
you can see our faces one last time here, and we can then say goodbye. And if you do have any questions, we always check back into the chat and check the comments all the time. So leave us information there, and otherwise, then we will see you. We'll be back on schedule with the Wednesday next week, and I have some more videos hopefully coming up this week, even if I can get them dropped in. But thank you guys once again for continually coming back and watching us and chatting with us and all of that. We so do appreciate it all. And I guess we will then see you next week.
Alrighty.
All right.
Bye.
Bye guys.